You know, one of the fun things that I like to do is after I've read about a time in history, I like to imagine actually going back there and really pretending that I'm a part of that time. So let's use our imaginations. Let's go back long, long, long ago to a one-room schoolhouse because unlike your classroom where it's just lots of rooms in a big, huge building, back in the day, long, long ago, school was just one room, and all the kids would go inside of the one room, all ages, everyone would go into the one room to learn. And things were a little different than the way they are in the classroom. When you walk into your classroom, what do you guys do?
We do the pledge allegiance.
You say your pledge and you walk in and you just have a seat, right? And one of the things kids had to do when they were in the classroom long ago, they had to be like really, really respectful toward their teacher. Are you really respectful toward your teacher? Well, back in the day, they used to really show it a lot too. And one of the things you had to do, and you can try this with me, sitting in your chair, I want you to move your body as close to the edge of the seat toward the front of the seat as you can. And lean forward and take your hands and hold the sides of your chair. And this shows the teacher, I'm ready to listen. Can you imagine sitting like this for a long time? That's what kids had to do long ago. And if you can relax now, and if you had to recite something, like maybe a spelling bee or read in a book, does your teacher make you stand to do that?
No.
What do?
We sit down and read it.
Yeah, you just sit. Well, if you were in the one-room schoolhouse, whenever you had something to say or do, guess what you'd have to do? Stand up. When you had to answer the teacher called your name, you would never just sit down and answer. You stand up and answer. Whenever the teacher asked you to read, whenever the teacher asked you to do work on the board or whatever she asked you to do, you would stand and address the teacher in that way. So it was a lot stricter than the way it is today. One of the activities, what kind of learning do you do in your classroom? What kind of learning? Do you do math?
Yes.
And what other things do you do?
Open card reading.
Okay, reading. And do you do writing?
Yeah, we do workbook.
Okay. Well, one of the activities or learning activities kids had to do was writing. But when you're writing in your classroom, now you're second, third graders, do you print or do you do handwriting?
We print.
You print. Well, if you were back long, long ago, you would only do handwriting. Kids and all adults learned how to do handwriting only. They didn't learn how to print. And you wouldn't use a pencil. You use something called a quill. Let's take a look at one. A quill is made out of what is that? What is this, though?
A feather.
It's a feather. It's a feather. Now, this happens to be a turkey's feather, and turkey feathers are really strong and sturdy. And they would cut the tip of the turkey feather off into a point, and they would use this to write. That would be what you would use instead of a pencil or a pen or a marker.